And even if we all droids, I'm R2. My haters get lightsabers, salam through. I'm a beast on beast, just like Hans Wu. I mean Wookie, sorry, but I be tripping, yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the G2 podcast, the G Squared podcast featuring...
I'm Gonzalez.
And I am Jay Gonzalez, a.k.a. He Who Pods. And we've been gone a long time. Something like 3 months, if I'm correct, right? Maybe around OD, maybe like 2 months. But that's too long. And so we are going to switch things up. And this is number one of probably 6 short episodes that we about to give y'all. And so, don't worry. We did not forget about y'all. We just been living life and having good times. And so, back to business we go. And we're going to start with what we think is the first thing we should have potted about, but maybe not. But who knows? And who cares? But we're going to start with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the third and final installment of the James Gunn trilogy. Guardians of the Galaxy has come to an end. And we're going to talk all about it. You want to start? Or you want me to start?
You have more to say, so you can start.
I have more to say. Okay, let's do it. And if we're telling the truth, we recorded this episode already, but we had some tech issues. Our tech guy, that would be me, messed up and didn't have the proper tech stuff going on the first time. So this is our second time doing this just because we like y'all. And so, let's get it popping. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is my favorite of the 3 because I think it is the best of the 3. I think number 1 was cool. The band all got together through mutual understandings and mutual hate for mutual people. And then Guardians number 2, we could flush that down the toilet. It was a piece of junk, not worthy of being in the Marvel Cinema series, not being worthy. To me, it was bad, just like all of or most of Phase 4, and it was way before Phase 4. It was garbage. I ain't like it. Didn't want to watch it. When I finally did, I said, man, I do not regret not rushing to see this. And so, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I was a little scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared. But, you know, M wanted to see it. And so I said, let's go see it. We saw it opening weekend. We even went with the 3D glasses. That was interesting. And that was actually kind of fun. And so now let's actually talk about the movie instead of dancing all around it. So, I think Guardians 3 was good. I think it was probably one of the better Marvel films that we've got in a while, which is probably why today, June 20-something.
26.
Thank you. June 26, it's still in theaters. Marvel is milking all of the money it can get out of this film. And rightfully so, because it's a good film. So, I did not like some things, and I'm going to start getting my hate off first. You know, the therapist says start with love. I say start with hate.
That's not what my therapist says.
Well, there's a podcast I listen to, and the guy has been to therapy. Mm-hmm. And so he always says, the therapist says start with love.
My therapist says get all the anger out first, then talk about the post.
You see, I like that therapist.
We like Brenda out here.
Holler. What up, Brenda? You know what I mean? Shout out to Brenda. Not Brenda's Got a Baby. That's Tupac. This is Brenda's M's therapist. Holler. All right. What else? All right. So start with the hate. I did not like that no one died. And by the way, if you haven't seen it by now, I'm sorry, but you know how we do out here. We spoil everything. Everything. And so nobody died. What the hell? You made me stay and watch these people in all the movies they're featured in. They're in Avengers movies and Thor movies and their movies. And 18 films later, nobody died. Not a one. And don't say Gamora, because they brought her back from a different timeline. And so she's technically not dead.
You look.
All right? It's garbage. It's whack. I like when main characters die. I almost died. We'd have had a main character die right here on the show. Excuse me, a sip of water for just a second. See what happens when you get your hate off first? Yeah. You almost be the one dying. Oh, something in my throat there. So that hate in my throat. All right, we now return you to your regularly hate-filled programming. All right, so Nobody died. What the heck? Why is no one dying? People got to die. And then they're going to trick us with the trailer of everybody looking all sad. And what's the sister's name? Not Gamora.
Nebula.
Thank you. High five. And Nebula carrying Star-Lord. And everyone looking all sad, looking like he died. He ain't even die. Nobody died. Nobody. Not a one. Only the big bad guy, which we'll get to in a minute. And so I don't like that. People got to go, man. They got to go. And so that's my biggest criticism. My second biggest criticism is, although the main focus of this movie is Rocket Raccoon, and I'm okay with that because he is one of the bigger characters, and we've seen him grow exponentially as a character throughout the movies. Little by little, he has grown and become a super cool guy. Raccoon, rather. All of that is cool. But we didn't need 10,000 Rocket Raccoon flashbacks. Not that many. It's far too much. Far too often. It's like a flashback, little bit of movie. Flashback, little bit of movie. Flashback, little bit of movie. Y'all get it. It's too much. Too many. Too often. Didn't need this many. To me, it would be better if you started off giving us his entire backstory and then jumping into the film. And making that backstory shorter. Because much like a lot of these other movies, this movie felt too long. It dragged, and that's never good. And so it didn't drag throughout the entire film, but I think because of all the flashbacks, it kind of felt at one point like, all right, can y'all get to the point? Because this is too much. Way too much. And so that's my bad feedback. That's my criticism. Now, on the good side, let's go to love. I really like the way that the movie went. I think although it dragged a little bit, sorry, my shirt was not cooperating. I think although it dragged a little bit, the movie was good. Definitely a solid film. Every character got to shine. They did some really cool stuff with the newer characters. Oh man, we looked up his name last time. What was the guy's name with the gem? The new guy. Adam Warlock. That's the name. You double check over there on the Googles. Even what they did with Adam Warlock, that was cool. We got to see his character come in as kind of like the ultimate killing machine, so to speak, and just being about the mission and his, what his people needed, quote unquote. And we get to see him kind of evolve into something more. We see him become almost a totally opposite character. And that was pretty cool. They also did some cool stuff with like Cosmo, is that the dog's name?
Yeah, Cosmo.
With Cosmo, as y'all can see, I don't really bang with this squad. Usually I know everybody's names and stuff, and I clearly don't this time. And yeah, they did some cool stuff with Cosmo, all the good dog, bad dog stuff. That was cool. Homeboy learning how to use the flute knife weapon thing. That was cool too, with the whistling. And I mean, Gamora becoming the leader of the Marauders, that was cool too. I didn't think that was bad. I don't need her sister to act like she's the new girlfriend. There was kind of a little bit of that at one point. I didn't really need that. But the West, the West was pretty cool. The West was pretty cool.
El Cabal.
Had a Mike Tyson moment right there. Couldn't talk. Yeah, and so the rest was cool. Lots of good things with the color schemes. Including the animals. They did a good job with the High Evolutionary, who most people watching this may not know, but he was the big bad guy, mad scientist, but more on the evil side, kind of. He was dope. And I like the way he kind of was like cyborg-ish because of what Rocket did to him. Yeah, and also, and then I'll shut up. I think a really cool thing is this movie did a good job of balancing jokes and seriousness. A lot of times in these Marvel movies, they try so hard to be funny that it feels forced, kind of cringeworthy. This time it didn't feel that way. It felt pretty natural and the flow of things was good. It didn't feel like we're trying so hard to punch you with jokes that it's just too much. Like a Thor 4, for example. And so, yeah, I thought it was cool, including the end credit scene where you see Rocket take over as the new leader of the team and Star-Lord retire. I didn't need to see him eating cereal with his grandpa. That was weird, but hey, whatever.
Dad.
It was his grandpa.
No, it was his dad.
It was his grandpa.
It was his dad.
It can't be his dad because his dad is who he tried to kill him in the second film. Ego the Living Planet is his dad. Remember in the Guardian special, we find out that Mantis is his sister.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
His grandpa. And so, yeah, I didn't need to see him busting down cereal with Grandpa. And why his Grandpa knew him as soon as he saw him, even though he ain't seen him in like 30 years? That was weird, no? As soon as he walked through the door, he just like, oh, and said his name. What's his name? Quill. Thank you. He's like, oh, Peter Quill.
Peter Quill.
He's like, Peter. That old man just recognized you out of nowhere 30 years later? That's a little weird, man.
But he's been on Earth, no?
No, he hasn't been on Earth.
Didn't he go back to help with the Endgame?
He fought in Endgame, but that don't mean you knew who he was. He had the Star-Lord mask on.
Listen, I got all types of age, little picture thingies and apps. We could have put a picture.
Nobody on Earth knows who he really is. He's just Star-Lord. And even if they knew who he was on Earth, it wouldn't matter. He's been gone in space for 30 years. So if you come to Earth and say, hey, I'm M. Gonzalez, but we ain't see you in 30 years, you're going to say, who the hell's M. Gonzalez?
True.
Anyway, good movie. That's my feedback. And I think that's it for now. Turn it over to you, M.
You sure you don't? Oh, what about the dragon thing? What dragon thing? What?
The dragon? This ain't Shazam. What movie you was watching?
Oh, I'm thinking about the little furry thing that Adam took from the ship.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I don't know why
His
I
little
said
pet,
dragon.
the little pet thingy.
I don't know why I said dragon. Alright. Well, I'm doing what Brenda says, gotta follow therapist orders, Alright.
Sure. Get your hate off.
The overall film was great. I just thought certain parts dragged. And I felt that if they had, I'm fine with it being mainly about Rocket, but I felt that all of the little flashbacks every 15, 20 minutes was over excessive and we didn't need all of it. And then I also don't like that they were trying to make Nebula the new girlfriend or whatever. It was just a whole lot of I don't know. And then whatchamacallit, Gamora being the leader or whatever. I need to know all that. I don't like her. I need her to go away. I like the actress.
Why you don't like Nebula? I mean, Gamora.
I feel like this version of Gamora is very bratty, and I feel like part of them bringing her back was fine, but they made her more bratty because she was bratty before, but now she's just overly excessive.
Okay, that's fair.
Love the actress though. Just don't like Gamora.
I mean, you gotta love her. She's your girl. She's in all your movies.
She's
Zoe Saldana is also the person, the mom, well, the love interest in Avatar 1 and the mom in Avatar 2.
Yeah, she's from Terry.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's your jam.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh.
I said you gotta love her. She's in your favorites.
But Adam Warlock was cool. I ain't like the high evolutionary, whatever his name is. I wanted to kick him in the face because why are you trying to be like a Brainiac, little spinoff? Because that's what it looked like. And when I first saw him, is that Brainiac? And then they talking about some high evolutionary. Get out of my face with that. Because why are you trying to be? I don't get their obsession with trying to copy. Not even just Marvel. I feel like DC and Marvel want to use the similar stuff that they both do all the time, and I'm very confused on why. Because separately they're amazing, but when they try to mix it, I'm like, what's going on? What's happening?
Well,
why are we doing this?
Well, it's a copycat game, and so when you see a dope character like Hawkeye, then you gotta say, okay, let me make Green Arrow. And I know Nestor's gonna watch this and correct us, but whoever came first, the point is they see the other character working and they say, oh, we need one of those. We need one of those. We got to come up with one of those. And since I'm talking, a quick small difference between Brainiac and High Evolutionary is High Evolutionary is quote unquote trying to make the perfect creature, quote unquote, where Brainiac has no interest in creating anything that is new that's not himself. Brainiac is trying to create a world where he's the smartest being in the universe and destroy things in the meantime. And that's a quick version because there's a lot more to it. But that's one of the main differences. Brainiac is on a quest for knowledge and power, and High Evolutionary just want to destroy anything that's not perfect that he didn't create. Back to you, Jim.
What did you just call me?
Jim, that's what they do on the news. They'd be like, reporting live from the scene. We have Jonathan. And then Jonathan be there. Yeah, it's crazy. Right now, there's a 3-alarm fire, and we have them trying really hard to bring it down. And that's what's going on here. We'll report back soon. Back to you, Jim. And then Jim goes back in the studio. He'd be, yes, and thank you, Jonathan, for that lovely report. We hope everyone is safe, and we'll come back soon at the top of the hour and see what's new. And next we have so-and-so with the weather.
I know this man did not just call me Jim out of all people.
That's what they do.
Out of all of the newscasts, you pick Jim. We get into that another time.
That's my
But
default.
like I was saying,
You were.
High Evolutionary is at this point. I didn't even want him in the movie. I disliked his character not even disliked. I hated his character. I didn't need it. It was not. It was. I just needed it to go.
And it did.
Good. Cosmo was cool. I like that whole like little quote unquote force thing, I guess.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. There you go.
The ability to control things with your brain.
I thought of a lyric from one of your songs where you go like this. You did that. I'm like, wait a minute, he did this before. Anyways, dang, I lost my train of thought.
Cosmo, telekinesis, powers.
Yeah, the little Cosmo thing was cool. I liked how she was like holding the two things together to make the two ships together, kind of make like a bridge. I thought I don't mind like the whole idea of Mantis and Peter being like siblings.
They're half brothers and sisters. Same dad, different moms.
Clearly.
Am I a bad player?
But like I was saying, I feel like their entire personality, specifically Mantis, was that they're siblings, and I feel like she kind of made it her whole personality. And I didn't like that.
Okay.
Like you said, I needed somebody to die. It could have been Rocket. It could have been Drax. It could have been Star-Lord. Go ahead.
I totally forgot to say that I love this big bad Groot. We got Groot in a level we never saw Groot before. It was like the most evolved, brolic, superfly version of Groot. And I thought that was really cool. I totally forgot to say that until you started going over the characters. And I was about to say, you forgot about Groot. And then I thought, wait a minute. I forgot about Groot.
I didn't forget about Groot.
Back to you.
He was going to get his own little part. We're going to talk about Drax right now. I feel like Drax needed to die when they hit him with the little, listen. The way they made it seem like he was going to die. So in my head, I was like, okay, he's going to die. I'll be okay with it. Then they hit me with the, Peter's going to die. I'm like, can one of them just die already? Because I'm so tired of them hitting us with the, they're going to die, and then they don't die. Let's see. Groot, my man, he was ready with all of it. He had all the muscles. He was talking back too. I liked it at that.
Yeah. I am Groot.
I am Groot. They're like, hey, watch your language. I am Groot.
Yep.
About to make a whole bunch of I am Groot phrases and talk to my friends like that at school. Like, I am Groot. But yeah, and then Nebula. She seemed more like the other version of Gamora, like their version of Gamora, not like the different timeline her. Because she started acting like softish. And it's a different part of her we've never seen before. I'll give them that. But I don't know how I feel about that. Because she's more of the like pushy-ish kind of character.
She's a meaner.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me a second. But let's see. I liked how they made Rocket the leader of the little group.
At the end.
Yeah. I thought that
He's
was
the new leader.
I thought that was dope. That little scientist got me so mad during like the entire movie. Every time he came on screen, I wanted to throw my drink. Like I was actually, I don't know. I just don't like him. Let's see. What you call it? What's his name? Oh, Adam's mom. She was really pretty, but she was also kind of mean. She was also like really, really rude, and I didn't understand. And I'm like, why are you being so mean to him for? What's going on right now? And I felt like I missed something, but I was like, did I fall asleep and miss something? Because I was awake. I don't know what I missed, or according to my recollection, I didn't miss nothing. So, why are you shaking your head like that?
That was good, according to my recollection. I'm about to name that the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
All right. Well, there you have it. Short episode number 1. That's it for this time. We'll be back really, really soon with our second short episode and another review. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you soon. Adios.
Bye.